YouTube, this is KittyWolf13, aka Irene, with a short little video. I thought I would do a recording of what I keep inside what I call my Restringing toolkit. So this is just going to be a quick little video to show you what I keep on hand. So obviously, laid out is the basics of what I keep in my kit. I usually keep multiples of everything on this table, but yeah. So obviously, to begin with, we have the elastic. I try to keep on hand lots of different kinds of elastic. I don't know if you can tell in the video, but the different size dolls use different size elastic. Obviously, the SDs have really thick elastic, and the MSDs have kind of a medium size elastic, and Tinies have a really thin elastic. But obviously, for restringing, that's the most important tool to have. I get my elastics either from Junkie Spot or through Volks. I like ordering Volks' elastic, even though they tend to be more expensive than like Junkie Spot, for example. But I find that their elastic is nice, thick quality with a good stretch to it. So yeah, I prefer paying a little bit more and having elastic that lasts a lot longer. Let's see. I also have here a wire. This is just basic crafting wire for doing things like jewelry or whatnot. I use the wire for dolls that are hard, that have really small holes in their joints, and or the single torso dolls like the Volks SD10s. Excuse me. Because it's hard to get a ribbon or string through some of those long, lengthy, small holes because they get snagged on the resin on the inside. I also, of course, keep string in my restringing kit. This is a piece of hemp. I like hemp because it's cheap and it's sturdy, and it's usually, for the most part, if it's not too frayed and fuzzy, it passes through the joints really easily. Some people use yarn. I don't particularly like yarn because it sometimes breaks if it's not a nice quality yarn. Because like SDs are strung really tightly. But any string will work. I've used shoelaces in a pinch and ribbons in a pinch. Let's see here. I've got a variety of S-hooks. My father works at a hardware store, so these aren't technically the S-hooks you get in a doll. These are more industrial gauge S-hooks. I think this one is a doll S-hook. But this one, for example, is an industrial S-hook you find in the tool section of a hardware store. I try to carry various different sizes. I also carry other things that sometimes work in a pinch. This is a key ring that I got at Walmart. And then these here are Lanyard Hooks, which I use for sometimes for dolls that have tricky joint systems that are in small or really tight places. I may end up using these for my project dolls that I just got in because they have a very deep hole where the joint reaches into the hand, like from the wrist to the hand. So I have to unstring them and see how that goes. I also keep a bag of rubber bands inside my restringing toolkit because rubber bands are super useful for keeping head caps on, or just for keeping wigs on the heads. I use them as wig stoppers as well. It's a good place to keep them. Over here I have a bunch of tools. I have a pair of needle nose pliers. Obviously this is pretty self-explanatory. I use this to stick inside the holes of the joints and pull the elastic out. Or in general, just to have an extra force to pull the S-hooks up through like a neck hole or something like that. This is a really small crochet hook. I couldn't find the rest of my crochet hooks, but they work really well in different sizes for different dolls for pulling the elastic through as well through the holes in the joint areas, like for example in the neck hole or the shoulder holes that go into the arms. So it's a good way of fishing out the elastic. This is a metal chopstick I have. I use these for holding the S-hook in place when I take like the head off but don't want the elastic to shoot through the body. You can use a pencil or wooden chopstick or something like that, but since I had a couple of these metal chopsticks. They work brilliantly for just shoving in place to hold the elastic in place or something like that. Now this is by far one of my favorite tools ever, and it works wonders for restringing. This is, I believe, a forceps, a medical forceps. You can find them in tool sections, sometimes in crafting sections, and believe it or not, my local flea market carries these. So they're not as nicely as these. These I got from my father, but they're really great because you can clamp them in, as you can see, and they will hold your elastic. So if you're trying to replace hands or feet or something like that, you just clamp this in place, and you can use both hands to change out the hands or feet or the head without having to worry about the elastic slipping through and going into the doll. So these are a must. I actually keep two or three of those in my kit because sometimes I need the elastic to be held on both sides of both legs or both arms. Here I have an example of an old elastic. I hang on to my old elastic just in case I need a little scrap for something. I try not to throw it away because I feel like it's wasteful. But as you can see, it's dirty from age. The elastic isn't as pliable anymore. It's not as stretchy, and it's super frayed. So that's just an example of bad elastic. And as you can see, here it is compared with the new elastic. It's significantly a different color, as you can see. So this is my basic toolkit. I try to keep multiples in my kit of everything in case I'm at a friend's house and they want to restring dolls with me as well. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I try to, like I said, I keep everything in a little Tupperware thing so that it's easily accessible whenever I need it. But so these are the tools of my trade, of my restringing kit. And I'd highly recommend getting some of this stuff and putting it aside in a kit for you. Even if you don't restring dolls as often as I do, it's kind of a nice thing to have on hand. So, with that being said, this is my restringing kit. I will be doing similar videos of this for my face-up set kit, and probably just to show you other little tools that I keep for my BJDs, like for my face-up removals and things like that. So, with that being said, this is a quick little video. This is my restringing kit, like I've said several times now. If you'd like to see more about maintaining your BJDs and such, please subscribe to my videos, and I will try and answer any questions you might have. And yeah, I guess that's everything. So, until next time, guys, talk to you later. Bye.